So Ken, I really liked the last couple of videos you made, especially the one about Quinca. I thought that was really spot on, really hard hitting. I really like your analysis about the tariffs. I think that's very original, and a lot of people haven't been talking about that. So I'm really glad someone finally brought that up.
Okay, that's definitely bright light. Yeah, and the lights are not even on. Wow, about reflection. Now, you can say that it's smooth waters ahead while the ship is sinking, and Trump is saying all kind of positive things, and you believe him, even though it's heading towards a great catastrophe and utter failure. Now, to be in reality would recognize the differences of opinion and allow this to be fluently expressed in such a way of an explanatory factor, which I'm going to delve into and crack open a warm or a can of worms. Yeah.
Now, I would also point out that if you want to, sort of build your argument, sort of buttress your argument with more evidence or more, flesh out your argument more, you should look into comparative advantage theory in economics, because, the United States is really good at, doing certain things like, the service economy. Like, we're really good with customer service. That's why when you are put on hold, like, whenever you call a company, you always get an American, because that's what we're good at. And it's the rest of the world that's good at manufacturing. So, we should not have tariffs, because tariffs are anti-globalization. It's anti-free trade, right? We don't want to be anti-free trade, right?
So at any rate, you can clearly see that with the poll numbers of supporting Trump is greatly diminished, and it's at its all-time lowest effect of any president, especially back in the mid-70s. We can clearly see the differences of that. But let's talk about the deficit, trade wars, and tariffs, and how it hurts the consumer more than anything, and the government is not making a profit, will not make a profit, has not made a profit in tax revenues or any stipulating factors of the sort at hand. Now, we can clearly see that it's going to take a great miracle to oust Trump, meaning that being impeached, of course, nothing sinister or devious about that.
And also, you could bring some game theory into the conversation as well. Like, for example, if Trump imposes these tariffs on these other countries like Canada and China, then they might impose tariffs reciprocally, and we wouldn't want that. So you should definitely bring that up as well.
But there was one attempt, and it failed to meet the mark. Now, that person probably saw certain things that I saw coming along the way with Donald Trump. And, for Quintaka in of himself to be a supporter of Trump, he definitely needs psychological help so that he can see the forest from the trees. Now, there is a great deal to talk about at hand here, of course, with the utter failures of Donald Trump, and bring it to light towards Quintaka.
Now, I would suggest changing the title of your video to Quinca has his head up his ass. Just say what you mean. There's no reason to, I wouldn't worry about the YouTube censors too much. There's only that much they can do to you. They generally don't censor. They don't give you strikes for, having bad words in the title of your video.
So if you're into politics and happen to come across this live stream, which would have been recorded at an earlier time, and you'd like to talk about politics and rail against Donald Trump and bring forth factual statistics and information about the dubious effects that Trump causes to society and puts the national security in a crisis and grave danger, as well as going against the voters and non-voters as well, meaning the common citizen, of course, and how everything is in turmoil and utter chaos because of the mandates of Donald Trump, then tag Quintaka, you can clearly see his name in the title of this live stream. And he has basically like around 300 subscribers. There's other Quintakas out there, but that's another person who has over 1,000 sock puppet accounts. But that's another story. So I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for watching.
And even if you put bad words in the text, the AI is not going to catch that. Like 99% of video reviews are done by AI, and AI is just listening to the audio. Okay, but anyway, keep up the good work. I really appreciate you, making these videos. I think they're really interesting. I hope to see more videos from you very soon. So thank you.